being supportive to my family, and you have not left my family alone. When my family is stigmatized, calling me a terrorist, not only me being behind the prison bars, but my entire family was also stigmatized. My family could sustain, could stand up because of your support. I thank you. And I also wanted to thank you through you, my lawyers. Relentless struggles of my lawyers stood with us to bring justice to us. Perhaps it has become a case, a bigger case, biggest case in the country, biggest political case in this country, where the prosecution wanted to suppress by using all kinds of illegal, immoral means. And it was a long struggle for the lawyers. I especially thank two lawyers, though it's a very long list of names. A senior advocate of Mumbai High Court, Subodh Dhamadikari, stood up and said that I will fight this case without taking 1 rupee, pro bono. He is a very aged and senior most lawyer in Mumbai High Court. And when the first trial came, he was not well, he was hospitalized. But from the hospital he came and argued. When second day he was also tested, he again came, though bedridden, and argued before the judges. And I thank him. Another lawyer, very interestingly, who defended me during my trial, in the trial court, today he is behind the bars. It is Sri Surendra Gadling. He is in the Algar Parshad case, languishing behind the bars only for one reason. He stood for me. He argued most effectively in the sessions court during the trial. Of course, with all his skills, a human rights lawyer of 35 years of experience, he presented before the court in such a way that there was nothing in the case. A judgment against the law of the land. And during the trial, certain police officers appeared and threatened my lawyer, Surendra Gadling. After N.Saibaba, we will see. And N.Saibaba got conviction. And within months of conviction, Surendra Gadling was arrested in another fabricated case. And more than 5 years is languishing. And a human rights lawyer who also did pro bono for poor Adivasis and Dalits and other poorer sections. Thousands of cases he won for the people. Surendra Gadling is, I am very sad that even before, speaking that my lawyer, most effective, who is the human face of our law of this country, one of the human faces, is languishing in a jail. And I wanted to tell you that my story of suffering, I wanted to share my story of 10 years of suffering. Just before that, 2 more things I wanted to say before I come to the kind of suffering that I have gone through. Today, Surendra Gadling, my lawyer, who defended me, is facing the same problem that I have been facing in 10 years. He has developed a serious heart condition. He is in Taloja jail, has developed a serious heart condition. He also recently started falling unconscious like me. 8.5 years I was falling unconscious in the undercells of Nagpur Central Prison. Recently, the medicines were denied to Surendra Gadling. The life-saving drugs prescribed by the government hospital, the life-saving drugs are denied. When the family sent the drugs, life-saving medicines, it is denied. When the family is sent by speed post, again the medicines, it was sent, the medicine was missing and letters were returned. Same thing that happened with me. When to prevent falling unconscious, I used to get one tablet in the prison for the last 7 years. Vertigo tablet, syncope, to control syncope. That very tablet is denied to lawyer Surendra Gadling, the human rights lawyer Surendra Gadling today. You fall unconscious, but you cannot take this medicine. A simple tablet of vertigo, everybody knows. And facing with this kind of situation, recently, Surendra Gadling filed a case, attempt to murder him against the prison authorities of Taloja prison, Central Prison. Perhaps you check with the court, High Court, there. It is attempt to murder case he filed. Why? He simply denied medicines. A case under section 307 is filed by him from the jail against the prison authorities who are denying him life-saving drugs. This is, I'm remembering this in front of you because this all happened to me. Still I survived. I don't know how I survived myself. Perhaps only with the hope that I can come back one day and I work for the same people who I have been working with, all my friends and comrades who have been working with me, today standing with me even after 10 years of this suffering. And another thing that I wanted to say, one of the co-accused in my case, whom I never knew, he never knew me before the case, before conviction. We came to know each other only when we are bundled together into one cell after conviction was given. And ordered to that person, today Pandu Narote, is who died in custody of a simple fever. How could he die in today's modern medicine available? Die of a fever. And interestingly, the first question he asked me, on 7th March 2017, when we were brought together and bundled together into one cell. What is the meaning of judgment? What happened to us? He did not know what is law, what is case, what is court, nothing. As UN designated most primitive tribes of the country, he belonged to that most primitive tribe. He never knew any city, anything. He never went out of his village. From Gadchiroli. He died in front of my eyes. Despite many reminders, he was not taken to the hospital till the last moment, where he was bleeding profusely from eyes and urine, in urine. And about to die in a few minutes, he was taken to the hospital after prisoners raised their voice. And he was killed. It is a state murder. You can't say that he just died of swine flu or fever. We don't know, because till the last minute there was no blood report or swine flu. Only after death it was declared he died of swine flu. We don't know what he died of really. My sufferings, you perhaps should know, but as a human rights activist all through my life, I have taken the sufferings of all the poor people as my own suffering. And when I am thrown into the jail, the people have taken my sufferings as their own sufferings. It's a reversal of the process that happened. As a human rights activist, I had to take the sufferings undergone by the people as my sufferings. But it is the people who. There was no accessibility within that under cells, one cell of wheelchair. Wheelchair could not go to the toilet. There was no separate toilet. One hole was there, but the wheelchair could not reach. There was an obstacle. Two Adivasi boys, in my case, first Fernando Rote and later on the rest, they literally carried me to the toilet, see, every time, lifting, and to give a bath also. I can't come out of the cell because there are obstacles in my wheelchair. They have to lift again. I can't go to Mulakat place without being lifted again. How many times these boys can lift me? I can't go to online Mulakat without being lifted by two people. I can't go to the prison hospital without being lifted. There is not a simple ramp. This is a kind of accessibility condition in that prison. But apart from that, accessibility, I could not even go and fetch a glass of water. The wheelchair doesn't move within the cell. And how long, how many years one can stay like that with life? And as a result of this, as a person who went inside the jail, was forced into the jail without any health problem except my childhood polio effect. I had no other disease. Today, I am in front of you, though alive, but each and every organ failing me. I simply tell you in 1 minute the kind of things that I am facing today. My heart is today functioning with 55% capacity. I acquired, I don't know how, which is called HCM, hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, in a severe condition. And the left part of the heart is only functioning with 55%. And doctors say if it drops a few points, by the percentage of function drops by a few points, you will not survive. And I been facing syncope attacks. I fall unconscious. These episodes are repeating, but never I have been given a treatment for this. Only they conducted some tests, but never any treatment. They gave me only painkillers, painkillers, 4, 5, 6 types of painkillers. And you know, on May 9th, 2014, when I was arrested, the police dragged me with my left hand. I cannot raise my left hand. You can see it is swollen even after 10 years. When I came here, Comrade Raja's first question was, why is your left hand swollen? He saw. You can see that, 5 muscles and the entire nervous system was broken because I was mishandled and dragged while being in the police custody soon after the arrest, carried away from Delhi to Nagpur by flight and from there to Aheri by car. With 2,000 commandos following in a queue. And during that process, my hand, they dragged and the entire nervous system was broken from neck, which connects to the brain to the shoulder. No treatment was given, it was swollen like this. For 9 months I suffered during undertime period. And after 9 months, when I was taken there to the hospital, it is too delayed, we cannot revive the nervous system and muscles long. That was the doctor's response, or government law. And when I was given bail out, the treatment was going on here and the doctors planned for surgery and I got the conviction and once again I was called back into the same style. And since then, I've been suffering with pain, shooting pain in my left hand to the left leg. My polio affected left leg. I have acquired muscle spasms, spasmatic attacks, paralyzing me. Doctor doesn't come. I would not be taken to the doctor hospital, just across the undercell also. You suffer. No? That's why I compared myself with Sita, mythological Sita. I am being suspected. Lord Rama suspected Sita. Right. Then I have, because of the food that I could not eat or could eat, gallbladder gathered stones and sunken. Then it affected pancreas. Now I am suffering from gallbladder stones and acute chronic pancreatitis. I can't digest food. I can't eat. And then in one MRI, they found that there is a cyst in the brain, in my brain. And in another scanning, they found that there are cysts in my kidneys. They were nothing. I was going annual medical checkup all those years before my arrest. I had nothing. I was healthy. I never used to take even one tablet. If there is a headache or something, my wife used to give some herb. Never took any tablet. So, the doctors prescribed several things, government doctors. Whole-term monitoring of heart should be conducted. This was prescribed 4 years ago. Till today, that whole-term monitoring of heart is not conducted. Another doctor prescribed sleep apnea test, saying that you have acquired obstructive sleep apnea, you cannot sleep properly. The test is not done. In 7 years, it was prescribed 7 years ago. Till today, the test was not done. Can you have some water? Not even discussed about. There are other tests not done. Why? the most criminal gangsters who live in the same prison, they get priority treatment even in private hospital with lakhs of rupees spent. Of course, all the poor people, the jail is filled with SCs, STs, OBCs, minorities. They never get any treatment. Perhaps I am amongst them, that's why I did not also get. Or perhaps they consider me that the biggest terrorist in the world. Because of that, I didn't get it. Even the medicines that are sent by Vasanta, it was very difficult to reach. Initially, I never used to be given. After my hunger strike for 10 days, and UN, then they started giving the medicine. Whenever she sent regularly, but after 10 days, after 15 days, you go without medicine for your heart within 10 days, even those medicines which are sent by your family. And it was happening to a person who has support from you, the main media. It was happening. Of course, you have focused about all these issues, but still they could do it. Because the word from within jail will not come out, that is their confidence. I wanted to share one emotional, as a human being, point with you. Finally, this is the last point I wanted to mention because I am feeling very tired after 7 years of continuous imprisonment and the last 3 days of struggle to come out. My mother passed away while being in prison on 1st August 2020. Being a disabled child since childhood, my mother brought me up with great care. She took me in her arms to the school. My child should get education. That is the only goal for her. I was not allowed to see before her death. I was denied parole to go and see her. After that, I was denied to attend her funeral. And after funeral, for post-funeral function rites, I was denied parole. By the authorities, prison department, government and courts. Who is the criminal accused in this country who are denied for this kind of rights? Is there anyone? If I am teaching in Delhi University today, or I was teaching 10 years ago, till 10 years ago, it was my mother's dream. Who is an illiterate village poor. Today, you can see, and as a human rights activist, I could see all women across the country, the poorest of the poor, Adivasi women, Dalit women, they only desire only one thing: my child should get education. We will not get land, we will not get anything, we know, but we want our child to get education. It was the same dream my mother had. Was there any necessity that I never deserved to serve my mother last days? She died because of only one thing. Because I was implicated in this case and incarcerated without any facts. And she asked and asked till the last moment. She asked that she wanted to see me. That's the only desire she had. See, the state is there to serve the people. The state should not be there to punish the people and crush the humanity. Humanity needed state at one point in the history of development of human species to serve the society, to have a kind of no problems. And of course, in the course of time, the brutal oppressor itself, the brutal oppressor should have, the state is formed by a contract of the people to stop disorder, anarchy, and the state became the anarchy itself. And now it is crushing humanity brutally. You see the crowded prison where I came from. It was a prison for 1,500 people. How many people there? 3,200 people in the place of 1,500. And they are struggling and fighting with each other like dogs for sitting place, sleeping place, for water. No facilities were there. There was no space even for to sit and sleep. 6 feet is not there for each prisoner to sleep. So for place to sleep, they fight like dogs. This is the kind of, inhumanity. This is the inhumanity for the entire country, not for the prisoners who are fighting like dogs. Subhuman conditions, inhuman conditions. I'm sorry, I became emotional before you. But you are my brothers and who helped my family, you become part of my family. That's why I shared all this with you. Thank you very much.